I'm Steve Ruberg, pastor at Wilson's Mills Advent Christian Church in Wilson's Mills, North Carolina. Most viewers know me because of our Wilson's Mills Virtual Church channel on Facebook and Messenger. We're doing an outdoor service because of the social distancing with the COVID-19 coronavirus that is spreading our country. So we're doing it safe, but continuing with a church service and sermon I want to bring. It's one of my favorite sermons I did several years ago, but it's very applicable in the days we're facing now with or without the COVID-19. I want to start reading a poem that I wrote several years ago. When I started writing, I had no idea what I was going to write. I just wrote the first couple words and then it flowed from there. And sometimes I get emotional in reading it. But it's called Just God. Don't forget, don't regret, just believe. God is there, He'll provide, just pray, go before, clear the way. Just stand in His way, by His side. Just know, no doubt, no fear. Just trust, never alone, without hope. Just confide, He will hear, give you cheer. Just live, look for ways to provide. Just give others help, fill their need. Just see your next step is the way. Just go, seek His will, read His word, just hear. You will know what to do, just receive. He lives, He forgives, just God. Heavenly Father, we thank You. We can depend on just You for all of our needs, all of our fears and concerns. We can turn our trust and our faith to You and know You will provide all that we need. We thank You. We can trust in You. In Jesus' name, amen. How big is your God? Everyone has their own conception of God. What does God look like? What does God think of me? Why does God do what He does? Do I really matter to God? If there is a God, why have the things happened to me that have happened? Have you ever said, life wasn't supposed to be this way? Or our church wasn't supposed to be this way? There are many storms in life. And today we're having some pretty dark clouds around us, like there could be a storm. Jesus knows about your storms even before you do. In Matthew chapter 14, verses 22 to 24, we read, Immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of Him to the other side, while He dismissed the crowd. After He had dismissed them, He went up on a mountainside by Himself to pray. When evening came, He was there alone, but the boat was already a considerable distance from land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. During the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went out to them walking on the lake. When the disciples saw Him walking on the lake, they were terrified. It's a ghost, they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid. But Jesus knew the storm would come up when He went up to the mountain. He let the disciples go into the storm. He could see the storm from the mountainside. He knew they would be afraid. He knew what He was going to do. He went to them, intending to calm their fears, reveal His authority over the winds, and attempt to gain their trust. Peter was so relieved it was the Lord. He thought he was going to die, because seeing a ghost in those days meant death was imminent. Peter replied, Lord, if it's You, tell me to come to You on the water. Come, He said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. It's easy to come to Jesus. He'll reach out His hand to you. He said to Peter, Come in the midst of the storm, not after the storm. But Peter, when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink. Cried out, Lord, save me. In the midst of the storm, Peter gave up and sank. Immediately Jesus reached out His hand and caught him. You of little faith, He said, why did you doubt? And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped Him, saying, Truly You are the Son of God. Now, some of you are in a storm in your life. God knows all about it. He's been watching you. He has come to you with his hand reaching out. Just God is all you need right now. It's up to you to climb out of the boat and come to Jesus. Even if you feel you've already sunk, it's never too late to reach out to him. On another occasion, in Matthew 15, we read, leaving that place, Jesus withdrew to the region of Tyre and Sidon. A Canaanite woman from that vicinity came to him, crying out, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is suffering terribly from demon possession. Jesus did not answer a word. So the disciples came to him and urged him, send her away, for she keeps crying after us. He answered, I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. The woman came and knelt before him. Lord, help me, she said. He replied, it is not right to take children's bread and toss it to the dogs. Yes, Lord, she said, but even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. Then Jesus answered, Woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted. And her daughter was healed from that very hour. Lord, have mercy on me. Lord, help me. Have you ever made that cry to God? The Canaanite woman made a cry for mercy from the living God. The title Lord was a recognition of power. Son of David. She used the term for Messiah. Her plea was one who had no place else to turn. Her daughter was dying. No doubt all earthly means had been tried to save her. She had all the Canaanite gods at her beck and call. She just needed a big G God, and she recognized the one who was that God. Jesus did not immediately respond to her. He made her wait. It could have been a test of her faith. The woman was a Canaanite woman, a Gentile, descendant of the inhabitants of the Promised Land who were to be destroyed by driving them out. Jesus was sent to the children of Israel, the lost sheep. Jesus' response to her, I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel, was a statement of fact. She came and knelt before him. She worshiped him. She recognized that Jesus was worthy of worship. When one encounters Jesus, the only reasonable response is worship, because he is God. Jesus said, it is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. That was a common form of speech among the Jews. Gentiles were considered dogs. Two kinds in Greek. One kind was the one that roamed the streets, scavengers, lean and mean and diseased. Another kind of dog was a pet dog, loved by the owners and gently cared for. Jesus used the term for a pet dog, and the woman knew it. William Barclay stated, he must awaken true faith in the heart of this woman. The woman persisted, but even pet dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. Little dogs share what is left over from the children. Jesus praised her great faith. The Tony the Tiger faith. It's great! What made her faith great? She saw no hindrance to faith, but an opportunity to exercise her faith. She was not desiring all the power of God, just a small grain would do. In the eyes of Jesus, her humbleness, her persistence made her faith great. How big is your God? He is only as big as your faith. We tend to think small. When the people of Israel were on their journey to the Promised Land, they saw great miracles. The crossing of the Red Sea. It is depicted as a small opening, and they ran across on dry land to safety. I recently heard the reality of their crossing. Millions of people in the group would have taken all night to cross at 5,000 people side by side. It was a huge crossing. And some think it was just an act of nature, not a God thing. They have found remnants of chariots on the ocean floor at the likely crossing place. When the people of Israel had no water, too, they complained. We should never have left Egypt to come here to die. In Egypt, we had water. Our suffering was worth having a drink of water whenever we wanted. Some people complain about their circumstances instead of trusting God. Moses went up the mountain and was instructed to strike a rock, and water came out. Until recently, I never saw a picture in my mind that would have been realistic. To water millions of people and millions of heads of livestock, it would have taken a gusher river of water to flow down the lowland and make a lake for the people to have enough water to drink and store. I thought small. I thought about it, just a stream of water coming from the rock. But God acts big. God is great. Say with me, God is great. Do you believe it? My daughter and son-in-law needed a car several years ago. I said to my son-in-law, Chip, I want you to pray about the car. So when God answers your prayer, you will know God answered your prayer, not mine. Guess what? God answered his prayer. Think about a time when you know God answered your prayer. He still is in the prayer answering business. In what way are you thinking small about God? You have circumstances in your life that are hindrances to you, that are causing you to grumble and complain, that are depressing, causing you to feel hopeless, that are debilitating, frustrating, or just a nuisance. You may feel that God has abandoned you as the disciples would have felt in the storm. You may feel that God doesn't care about you as the Canaanite woman felt. You may wonder why God has allowed conditions to become as they are. You may feel that things were better in the past, even though they were not as good as the children of Israel when they didn't have what they wanted. Guess what? Your thinking is stinking. Zig Ziglar used to say that. Jesus, God the Son, withdrew to quiet places for quiet times with God the Father. Is there a lesson in that for us? The more quiet time we spend with God, the bigger he is to that one. Bigness can be a matter of perspective. Standing things appear smaller than me. Kneeling things appear bigger than me. When we think we can manage on our own, God is small. When we know we cannot manage on our own, our God is. He is much bigger than any problem. There's another Bible story about a woman who had a bleeding condition for 12 years. She believed that if only she touched the hem of Jesus' garment, she would be healed. And she was. Peter Marshall wrote this about trusting in God. Give God a chance. Tell him about your situation and be honest. Believe God will hear you. Believe with all your faith that he cares what happens to you. Wait patiently for the Lord. He may not answer today, but he will answer. When he speaks, do what he says to do. It generally comes through your own conscience. A sort of growing conviction for such and such a course of action is the one he wants you to take, or may be given you in the advice of friends of sound judgment, those who love you most. God speaks sometimes through our circumstances and guides us, closing doors as well as opening them. He will let you know what you must do and what you must be. He is waiting for you to touch him. How big is your God? Say it with me. He's great. He's big enough to handle all your problems. He's big enough to know all about you. He's big enough to care about you and you and you at the same time. He's big enough to be stopped by your need, yours alone. He's reaching out his hand saying, come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Will you get out of the boat like Peter? Will you persist in asking like the Canaanite woman whose child was dying? Will you reach out to touch just the hem of his garment like the woman who needed healing? God is big enough to know what is going on with you. He's big enough to know what's going on with your church. Humble yourself and he will be great. God is big and great enough to bring revival to you personally and to his church. Remember this. If a person knows what he or she needs to do and doesn't do it, it is sin. If a church knows what it needs to do and doesn't do it, it is choosing not to be the church. As an individual, won't you reach out to Jesus? as a church, won't you collectively reach out to Jesus and believe? Won't you come to just God? Heavenly Father, help us not to hesitate to come to you and believe with all of our faith that all we need is just God. In Jesus' name.